All right. Hey guys, Zeph here. I just want to talk about my progression in the Atlas tree. In Ruthless specifically, hardcore solo cell phone Ruthless. My current completion is 104 out of 115. I'm only 2 maps away from completing all reds, all yellows, and all whites. And then all that's left is unique maps, which I don't know when I'll achieve. Could be a long time. But yeah, let me start off by explaining my pathing initially when I first started Ruthless. I would path through these nodes initially and rush the commissioned officer. Oh, I'm in the wrong tree. Oops. Gotta go to Ruthless. So I would path through the center, go for scouting reports because scouting reports are very important. They're extremely important for you to reroll the maps, especially Keurig ones. And you want completion, right? That's your priority, especially if you don't have the map. So commission officer and expert reconnaissance is the first thing I would go for. And then it's whichever direction you are more comfortable with. It depends. I would actually rush chance to get vol scouting reports because eventually for red maps you will need these. So I would go like this. That's what I would aim for second, and then third I would aim for solidarity to get unique map scouting reports. You could go for like essences down the center. I've explored and tested strong boxes. There's not really much stuff that drops from strong boxes, but it's a good way to get a chance at a 6 link. But it's very unlikely because of how much items drop. But yeah, so dead center, aim for a commission officer, and then go for planner tactician or solidarity. After that, you can head for, I was going for sulfite infusion just for easy delve sustain. Everyone's a bit different on what they do, but this is something I rushed to eventually. I played around with Harbinger, didn't really like it, but it's a good way, especially if you're looking for Orb of Horizons. But yeah, I went for sulfite infusion. And then I'm not gonna exactly remember what I did and stuff, but things that say like 8% chance are very good to go for. Like if you're not trying to waste your alchemy orbs, I would recommend getting this. So if you run about 11 maps, there's a chance you get one essence, which is an alchemy orb, and it could be anywhere from tier 1 to tier 4. I think it's the highest I've seen. Anything else? Okay, so this would be 41 completion, and then you would eventually start heading for either, if you like doing June. I never went for the June stuff because I just didn't really care too much for it. But I eventually went for sulfite, Nico missions, and I don't remember. Oh yeah, so that's to get 10% there. Alva is a significant part. You would go for here. This is a good one. Time dilation. Gives you more rare. There's a chance that all the monsters being rare, or I mean magic type, which is just more for your timer, which is really good, especially if your build doesn't do a lot of damage. Killing resident architects in your maps adds the upgrade to the really powerful. You can also go for resource reallocation, but I didn't really care for that too much. Then you could go for Alva chance, and then you can head for incursions always have 4. This will actually save you 1 mission. So instead of having to run 4 Alva missions, you're only gonna run 3. And some of the strategies you could do, if let's say you're having an issue like sustaining tier 11 maps, you've completed tier 11, and then you have 1 tier 11. I would recommend running an Alva at that tier 11, trying to kill something, and now your temple is set at tier 11s. So yeah, it will always be tier 11. What else? And then you can run your other alvas. Like if you have white alvas, you could run those just to make it easier, and then you can upgrade your rooms and stuff. Eventually, you could start respecking. I went with this respec. You could also, if you want to improve your like, if you don't really care about side content like Alva, Delve, you could just spec into these nodes. These are the only ones I grabbed. Shaping of the mountains. I never actually went for shaping of the skies, shaping of the valleys, and shaping the skies, seas or valleys. I did do this though, to help with maps, but I don't know how much it helped. Some people grab this, but I don't see a point in doing that. It's just very dangerous. 45% increased damage, and especially since you're not running determination. I think it's fine if you're playing actually a champion these nodes, but like a juggernaut is kind of iffy. It can be very iffy. And also if you don't have ailment immunity. My build has ailment immunity, but I never grabbed any of the shaping nodes. Just this one. I never actually struggled. I felt like I've always had a pretty good sustain in maps. Then eventually I went up here. You know, I got to tier 11 or tier 11, tier 14 maps. Did my first tier 16, killed a Conqueror or an Elder Guardian. I also recommend actually going for Vivid Memories, because there's a small chance that after about, I think it's about, how many maps would that be? 3 times 10. 30 maps. I don't know if that's right, if my math is correct there. But after doing a lot of maps, there's a chance for you to drop a synthesis map, which is not bad. And I also went for Conquerors, like chance to drop Conquered maps, which is actually really good. So I went for all of these. I actually don't remember everything I grabbed. Okay, I have 10% Alva chance. I have Nico 10%. Sulfite Infusion is really nice, and Delve is really good for XP. Obviously not all builds can do Delve. My build can do Delve, but it starts to get rippy. The highest depth I went to was 116, but without determination, I don't want to get any deeper because of the smugglers' stashes can become very dangerous. But yeah, I expect this is currently what my tree is. Stream of Consciousness is something I went for. So if you had like a June mission spawn in, it's a tier 16. There's 1 damage mod. You definitely don't want to get. You definitely don't want to fight. You know, the masters, because they can definitely one shot you. I'm right now heading for the Shadow of Hunger just to increase my alter chance spawns. Just to I want to eventually get Scorch on my gloves. Currently, I have about 18, so hopefully I can hit Scorch after once I farm up about 30. Yeah, so Stream of Consciousness is really good once you get to red tier maps. I have put in chance to contain essences just so I can run some maps and then eventually get some essences. Good way for crafting. And I actually decided to spec into Einar to start developing some Einar missions. Currently, I have a lot of missions. Jun is something that's really low, but this is stuff I don't really care about. The only time you care about stuff like this if you have all your auras, you have Eternal Blessing or Divine Blessing. I forgot which one. I have actually both the gems, so I don't actually remember. It's yes, Divine Blessing. So Divine Blessing is the one you want. Eternal is kind of useless, but yeah. See, Shaping of the Mountains. I eventually unspec'd a lot of stuff because I'm almost done my red maps. My sustain is pretty good. Eventually, once all my scouting reports are done, I will probably get rid of Planner Tactician. Although this one is, yeah, I would probably get rid of it and just keep Solidarity because I need my unique maps. But yeah, that's pretty much what my final points will go into the Shadow of the Hunger. I still haven't killed the Infinite Hunger or the Blizzard Girls, the Avalanche. But yeah, something I really recommend though, especially if you're starting off with Ruthless, saving your Vol Orbs. Don't play a build that's, you know, where you want to like get cold snap. It's not really necessary. I found my first Sexton, but you can't obviously do anything with that since you need Void Stones. I'm able to do probably, I'm really close to actually switching to a 5-link. This one. I'm going to try and roll an Essence with Armor. Once I can try and get a tier 6 essence, I'll probably try and flip it into the armor one, and then I can actually toss the essence onto the what's it called, onto the armor piece, and probably have close to like 1,000 armor on my chest instead of it being so low. Because especially dropping that much armor can be very bad. Losing about half my armor. If I could get colors on this chest and 5-link that could be really good, or even this. But yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know if I want to 5-link this. If I do 5-link this would be very strong to use. I don't need, I don't need combustion. I would use a burning damage, life tap, or you can use inspiration and then deadly omens, detonate dead, and ignite pro life. I have 75% chance to ignite, and if you curse, I'm at 100. So yeah, my build hasn't really changed. I'm currently leveling up purity of lightning, purity of fire. These will be used for Eater of Worlds and the Searing Exarch. And Skitterbots is something I eventually want to put into the build, which I can. I'm gonna probably drop these nodes, so I need to save up about 5 regrets, spec into clarity, increased mana reservation, and then go for increased mana reservation efficiency, and then I'm able to run clarity, vitality, defiance banner, purity of elements, and then skitterbots. It would just be a huge source of survivability because I get free chill. I also have a Forge of the Phoenix in my map. I'm not rolling over this because this is something I can definitely do. And something else I want to talk about is, especially when you're starting off a build, you want to make a build that can pretty much almost do every type of content. The only thing this build cannot do is cannot regen maps. I can do crit maps, I can do damage maps, I can do curse maps. Anything I'm missing? Oh, and minus max I can do, but it's very sketchy. But yeah, I have about 70% reduced crit reduction, so I can do crit maps pretty safely, and I have about 50% reduced effective curses on me. And if I'm fighting something, I can just put a totem down and I have no curses on me. But yeah, I'm trying to finish up these last 2 maps, get the completion for those, and then eventually just finish up doing the uniques. And then, yeah, my Atlas will be almost completely done. Anything else that I want to mention? I recommend definitely playing a build that is like viable and meta. I wouldn't recommend playing a build that is not like powerful. Most dot builds are pretty good. You could go for bleed dots. There's also impale builds that are pretty good. You can roll a shield and then you already like do a decent amount of damage. RF cold dots, you can do a combination of RF cold dots or RF fire dots, or ignite with fire trap. I have a build that I eventually want to work on. It's going to be a Juggernaut cold dot RF build. It's going to be pathing all the way from Juggernaut all the way to the shadow area, and then it's going to allow me to get pretty much all the increased effect of non-ailments, which is good, especially once you get scorched on boots, which I don't currently have. I have brittle on ground, but brittle is pretty good too because it allows you to curse. Is there anything else that I want to mention? No, I think this video will just be specifically focused on talking about the Atlas stuff. But yeah, if you're someone who's not that good at dodging, or you have issues with like damage mods, I highly do not recommend. Like, I would not recommend grabbing the shaping seas, valleys, or sky nodes. Heist is, I don't know. Heist is good. You can get blueprints for forgot what the name is. Something gems, replica gems. You can get replica uniques. I tried to test out this chance at harvest. I didn't even get a harvest at all to spawn after 20 maps, and then eventually I did some maps and I had 5 in a row spawn when I unspec'd this. So the chance of spawning harvest is really low, but I think if you're speccing into harvest, you definitely want to spec into all the nodes that give you accessibility to increasing your probably your plants, and the chance for you to spawn harvest. I do recommend essences, especially if you're trying to improve your gear. Blight is pretty It can be good, it can be bad. Ritual, I've heard, is pretty good for some people, but obviously everyone has their own niche of content. Ritual is also very dangerous. You can get skill gems there. You can re-roll stuff. But yeah, just not something I really want to spec into. Eventually, I'll be pathing down here, and eventually running Einar missions. I might figure out a way of actually designing a bit an atlas that will allow me to actually get like pretty high Einar chance to spawn. So I'll probably spec here, 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 and then yeah. But that would require me to drop some things. These nodes I will never drop up here because I'm always running high tier maps now. But yeah, probably what I would do is drop essences, and then I would go for full out spawn, which I should be able to do. I could change up the pathing of my tree, but this is probably what my end would look like. I will always have this spec'd. Essence is not spec'd. I could go like that. I just want Einar chance to spawn, and then where's the other stuff? I don't actually remember where the other stuff. Oh yeah, it's here. So I should be able to do all of this without a problem. Get 10% Einar chance spawn, and then I can, once I get like 50 Einar missions, just run those, you know, and aim for something specific. If you're looking for a specific beasts in your maps or less common variety, stuff like that, it's very powerful. But yeah, I should be able to pretty much grab everything. Oh yeah, then this needs to be unspec'd, and those, because this chance to drop a tier map higher, it's good for sustain, but it's not needed. So yeah, 150, and pretty much once I have all the maps complete, I'm able to do that. I think I can also change up the pathing, maybe. I can actually do, oh no, because I want shadow. Oh yeah, I have favorite slots, so you can, I'm currently blocking maps for my favorite, but eventually once I get 8 favorite slots, or, well, Shaper's gonna be hard to kill. Cyrus is doable, just need Corrupting Blood immunity and good movement speed. Cortex, very sketchy. Shaper Guardian, defeat Shaper, Elder, Maven. I think Eater of Worlds and Exart are pretty easy because they're quest bosses, but yeah, I should be able to have like 6 to 8 favorite slots. But yeah, if you have any questions or anything you want to let me know, just type in the comments. I'll try and answer as best as I can. I stream on twitch.tv/Zeph every day. I might not be always streaming Path of Exile. I might be streaming something else, but yeah, I definitely recommend picking up every currency. Pick up wisdoms, portals. I have a lot of transmutations. I would definitely not recommend. I would never. I would not use alteration orbs for like trying to roll items. The only time I use this is for maps. I've one exalted orb. I don't know what I'll use that on, but chance orb's pretty good for buying maps and, you know, chancing items, like if you want a Ventur's Gamble or some sort of rarity items. Chaos I want to keep because there's a high chance that if Kirak sells a Phoenix map or any of the Shaper Guardians, or I don't know if he can sell any other maps, they might be worth Chaos, so I don't know about that. And then yeah, you have Harbinger orbs, Orb of Unmaking. Horizons I would also keep in case you can't do certain Shaper Guardians, because you can reroll Shaper Guardians, or go for completion. Oh, and one more thing I forgot to mention is I didn't wait. So let's say you drop your first red tier map, right? And you're expecting to like 30 to 40% chance to for maps to be 1 tier higher. So there's two types of people. There's the ones that will wait till they drop a Vol orb to get this. But what I did pretty much as soon as I got red maps, I ran them, and if I got up there, boom, perfect. the maps are set in stone and now they're on the pool for dropping. Like if I run something over here, there's a chance it'll drop here or here, you know, because I think there's a 30% chance for drop a connected map, but then there's other like factors. But I'm not too sure how the atlas works specifically, but that's what I've done and it's helped a lot actually with my progression. So yeah, if you have red maps, just run them, and then once you get, you know, up there, you get a Kirac mission. That's where it like starts to like really boost your speed of how you progress your atlas, especially because Kirac has a chance to roll corrupted maps, as you can see here. And corrupted maps is the best way to get unique maps. I would even recommend, like, let's say you're fighting a map that has 2 or 3 bosses. I would even vol that map even if you don't need it, because there's a good chance you might double your vol orbs. So let's say you oh, and it has to be twinned. If it's not twinned, I wouldn't recommend it. But if it's like single boss, like for example Canyon boss, if that's twinned, that's 4 bosses. If you vol it and kill it, all those 4 bosses have a chance at dropping a vol orb, and there's a good chance you know, you'll double or even just get a return. I think I did this boss twinned, or I did something twinned and I dropped about 3 vol orbs from one map, which is insane. But yeah, anything else? Not really. My gear is still pretty shit. Need better ring. My belt is pretty solid. It actually allows me to use Quicksilver 3 times. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that needs upgrading, but I still haven't found anything. Eventually I'll drop the helmet, and yeah. If you have any questions, guys, but yeah, let me know in the comments down below on YouTube, or hit me up on twitch.tv/Zeph. I'm streaming every day. I'll try and answer as best as I can. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. I will catch you next time with another guide and explaining fossils and fossil strats and like how to get resonators and that stuff. But yeah, which will be tomorrow, something I plan on doing. But yeah, y'all have a good night or a good morning and take care. Peace.